Hello, everyone. We have official confirmation that Israel has launched a major strike inside the Islamic Republic of Iran. Details are still flooding in by the minute, but the red lines of this conflict have been completely redrawn, and the entire region is now on absolute high alert. So I'm going to break down exactly what was hit and what this means for a potential full-scale war. Here is everything that we know right now, starting off with a clip from Trey Yingst. I'm going to share that with you guys in a minute. But finally, Benjamin Netanyahu has responded, even though being told by President Trump to not do that. So I'm wondering how this is going to play out.
That targeted Israel. This is breaking news. The Israeli military has carried out airstrikes against Iran in central and western Iran in response to the ballistic missile fire that targeted Israel earlier today, with sirens sounding across the northern part of this country. Again, this breaking news right now, according to the IDF and initial reports, the Israelis have targeted central and western Iran with airstrikes in response to that ballistic missile fire late on Sunday night.
So for those of you out of the loop, tonight, the Islamic Republic of Iran launched ballistic missiles in 4 separate waves towards Israel, not killing anyone, fortunately. They were all intercepted, with explosions ringing out throughout the Middle East as they were intercepted in the air overhead. President Trump came out with a statement telling Israel not to respond, telling Benjamin Netanyahu not to respond. And here we are, not 4 hours later, with an Israeli response and explosions ringing out across major cities across Iran, with explosions looking like this. This would be in Esfahan here. But as you can see from a distance, that they are hitting industrial and military targets, as they always have been, and not civilian targets. Here's another picture here. These are the type of strikes that we're talking about. And in multiple cities, such as Tabriz, there are sounds of simultaneous explosions going off one after another. The IDF seems to have just ended their strikes as we went live right now, and it seems like they are prepping for a new wave of Islamic Republic attacks. This is absolutely crazy. I did not expect this to happen so soon, but to have an official statement from the IDF here, so it looks like they were taking credit for this. As an initial report a short while ago, the Israeli Air Force struck military targets belonging to the Iranian terror regime, the Islamic terror regime, in western and central Iran. So these are cities like Tabriz, Esfahan, and Tehran so far that I've heard about. And as we are live, I am currently fishing out the details of what's been happening. I actually ended the live and went to the gym. And as I was in the gym, I checked my phone and I'm starting to get these notifications. So here we are. All right, it looks like. Also, can you guys hear me good? I'm using a new microphone here. All right, so Shin has posted this saying that the IRGC was using, or that the IRGC was confirming that Israel used airborne long-range ballistic missiles for targeting positions in Iran. So they did not use fighter jets, it seems. These were all ballistic missiles that were launched. And I'm fishing out more details here, but it seems like the Islamic Republic has responded with the statement here. So the IRGC had just said, targets on our country's soil were attacked. They have announced that the Zionist enemy attacked targets using air-launched ballistic missiles. Oh, air-launched ballistic missiles. So it seems like jets were involved, but they were launched from them. And that they fully reserve the right to respond with force to this. It seems like so far there's about 15 strikes taken place, mainly targeting military targets. So we're talking about air defense systems, paving the way for a potential escalation of this. And Israel is now getting ready to deal with a new wave of IRGC missiles coming in. But as Shin and Vahid Online, which are 2 credible sources from within Iran, reporting to us that sounds of explosions in multiple neighborhoods of Tehran, Karaj, and other cities have been reported. So West Tehran, 2 explosions. Uh, on a highway or near a highway between Karaj and Tehran. More explosions in West Tehran after that, followed by more and more explosions. Zargande was hit. Esfahan, Ekbadan town, southwestern Tehran, Mars Daron. So if any of you guys live here, or if you know anyone who lives there, please check on them. And I'm still kind of shocked. I don't know about you guys, but I am personally shocked that this has happened. I feel like I just left my home after ending the previous live stream covering the strikes from the Islamic Republic on Israel. And here we are yet again. I actually want to ask you guys here. Let's make a new poll asking if you guys expected this. All right, and here it is. This is just kind of for my own info here. I was not expecting this, so kind of want to see if anyone else was. And before leaving the previous stream, Armin did ask me if I could go live immediately if something happened. So, United States Air Force military tankers are still patrolling the Persian Gulf here. Keep in mind that some of these will have their transponders off, meaning that you cannot see them if you're using flight radar or any other website to track them. Okay, interesting. It looks like most of you were expecting Israel to respond. And the reason I'm asking that is because apparently Benjamin Netanyahu was told directly by President Trump to not respond. Tehran's fire department has said that no urban areas in the capital were targeted. Interesting. So it seems like the airport in Tehran, Mehrabad, was hit. However, I'm not putting much weight on that statement, and I'll tell you why. After the IRGC launched their ballistic missiles on Israel earlier today, they proceeded to completely empty Mehrabad Airport. And most of their planes, their commercial planes or otherwise, are currently in other cities like Mashhad, more further east in. And wow, people are, yep, Mehrabad International Airport in the Iranian capital of Tehran has been hit with these missiles are actually being visible in the sky here. Keep in mind today, it is, what time is it right now? It's 7:15 p.m., which means that it's, I can't think. It's almost 6 a.m. in Iran. It's like 5 something, 5:45, I think. 5:30, 5:30. Yeah, 5:45. I'm kind of in shock. I'm kind of in shock here. Oh, it seems like not only were there explosions in Iran, but there were explosions in Lebanon and Baghdad in Iraq. I'm glad to see that the urban areas in Tehran were not hit. Was a little bit worried about that. And someone asked if the internet is still working. Last night, for Iranians, the internet started getting disconnected. It became really hard to connect all of a sudden. And from what I can tell right now, the internet is still working. So it is morning time, and I think a lot of Iranians have woken up to the sounds of explosions. Someone's saying, as an Israeli, I knew we will, and I knew that Trump's spin always was what it was, just a spin. Okay, so let's talk about this. Guys, President Trump came out and set the internet on fire, telling Israel not to respond. Hours later, Israel has responded, and they have responded with force. The White House has just come out with a statement as we speak, as in right now, like not even 30 seconds ago, and they have just said that the United States was not involved in the attacks in Iran. It seems like they are still maintaining their position of let's get a deal. I'm not so sure if this was to be fully expected. This might be just on the Israeli side here. And what do you know? The Houthis have once again threatened to close the Bab el Mandeb, but only if the attacks continue. I don't know about you guys, but I never saw that one coming. Not this time, and not the 20 last times that they said the same thing. Okay, let's try and find some clips. Maybe people. I mean, it was so early in the morning that no one would have been out there taking videos of things here, but we're finding pictures like this that people are finding from their rooftops. So it looks like Isfahan was hit pretty hard, which is where the nuclear sites of the Islamic Republic are. They said what? Okay, here's what we know. The IDF has said that they conducted strikes on central and western Tehran. The IRGC has come out and said that the Zionists have attacked us and that we reserve the right to respond with full force. And the White House has said, we had nothing to do with this. Very interesting to see the United States is trying to hold a position of neutrality here. Let's see if there's anything interesting and particular going on here. So again, the international airport in Tehran was hit. However, most of the planes in that airport that were owned by the IRGC were already evacuated because it seems that the IRGC were expecting these strikes. I wonder if there's going to be a statement from Benjamin Netanyahu coming out here. Interestingly enough, here, this is a map of the airspace of Iran that was closed. Now, you might think that this was closed just now, but this was actually closed hours ago. And just the western and central parts, which is exactly where Israel's hit. Now, we don't know if any IRGC members were targeted or hit. It seems like they just went for military and industrial targets. So before we get more information, I want you guys to know that this could all just be a show. And this does not necessarily mean that we are going back to a full-on war here. You know, contrary to what many of us may want. So I'm going to try and figure this out while this just happened. Keep in mind, while we're live here, the Islamic Republic might be responding as we speak. We just haven't gotten the news of it yet. So let me just check on that. Israel is reportedly preparing for additional waves of IRGC strikes. That sounds like escalation to me. All right, so people are saying that strikes from the IRGC are probably imminent at this point, because if you guys look back to the internal politics of the Islamic Republic, the strikes happened earlier tonight because Israel bombed somewhere in Lebanon. I think it was in southern Beirut, a suburb. And the IRGC said, no, 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 that's our red line, as they've been saying that for weeks, and started launching ballistic missiles into Israel, which were all intercepted. There was a case of an old lady hitting her head on her way into a bomb shelter, and that is all that we've heard of so far. After that, there was a lull of a few hours where I thought maybe it would be safe enough for me to go to the gym. And as I'm there and I'm ending the near of my workout, I check my phone and explosions across Tehran, Tabriz, Isfahan, Karaj, Urumiyeh. I was like, so what do you guys think about the United States saying the White House saying the United States was not involved in the Israeli attack on Iran. Okay, so what does that mean? That means that the US is going to let No, 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 this is what it means. The United States is going to go to the Islamic Republic in the negotiations that they're doing in the back end, and they're going to say, "We saved you. Israel hit you in a very limited way. We're going to unleash them upon you," because I imagine that Netanyahu's just ready to go at this point. "We, the United States, are holding Israel back." That's what they're going to say to the IRGC. And the IRGC are going to say, "Okay, you have more leverage now," right? They're not actually going to say that, but the United States is going to have more leverage because this is what happened. And I have a hard time. Yeah, Sefafa or Sefa Fefa is saying that the United States knew about it. The United States, of course, knew about it. These intelligence agencies are quite proficient at what they do, which is apparently spy on each other. The United States and Israel spy on each other all the time. And I think the United States today listed Israel as a very high counterintelligence threat. Happened just now. So here's the proof of what I was talking about earlier, where all the aircraft from Tehran's Mehrabad International Airport was scrambled, and they took flight to other cities where they would not be hit. Man, let's go back from the top. Let me go back into what I use to gather a lot of breaking news and just try and go back to when this all happened, which was about an hour ago. It's been 60 minutes, maybe a little bit more. So someone's asking, so is the IRGC going to attack Israel for 7 days now? I think the IRGC are going to attack. The followers of the Islamic Republic are what's the most important thing to them. And if they don't attack, those followers are not going to be very happy. Not happy at all. I mean, I can go back and show you guys how they reacted tonight on the streets when they heard that Israel was targeted by IRGC missiles. And that's actually it's a disgusting video. I can only stomach so much of it, but if I had to see it, I figured that you guys had to see it as well. Do you guys see how energized they got when the announcer came up? He got handed a note and he said, "We have attacked the Zionist regime of Israel." And everyone just starts screaming and cheering. Okay, so right before these strikes happened, a missile was spotted over the Dahya, which I believe is what the IRGC was calling it their red line. The Dahya is in Lebanon, and the IRGC has been saying that if you target that, we will hit you. So it seems like this is actually happening again. So yes, an hour and 10 minutes ago, sounds of explosions were heard in most regions of Lebanon. So it seems like the IDF not only retaliated against the Islamic Republic, but they also retaliated against Lebanon. Sounds of explosions were heard in Baghdad, in Iraq, which, I mean, I feel bad for whoever lives there. It's been probably a daily occurrence at this point. Explosions were then heard in Beirut. Wow. So everywhere, pretty much everywhere in the Middle East. And then the first strikes arrived. So explosions in the Iranian city of Tabriz, northwestern Iran, close to Azerbaijan, Armenia, those countries, with I think Hezbollah then issued an alert that Lebanon was being hit, and Israel was then declared to have attacked Iran. the Islamic Republic of Iran, in several cities at once. While this came out, at the same time, Al Jazeera comes out and says, breaking, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu accepts requests from United States President Donald Trump to not respond to the Islamic Republic's attacks. So, whoever's working at Al Jazeera today, I hope you're having a bad day because your reporting sucks. It's terrible. And you're very biased. So, reporting on explosions in Esfahan, sonic booms over Baghdad. So, it seems like Israeli planes may have flown over Iraqi airspace before letting loose these ballistic missiles. And it doesn't seem like the Islamic Republic had any anti-air defense to begin with, but whatever they did have seems to have been vaporized as of today. Tehran was also hit. So you have different different neighborhoods in Tehran that were hit there, with very violent explosions in western and southwestern Tehran. Now, when we're talking about Tehran, this is a massive city, and when they say western and southwestern Tehran, these are where a lot of the missile cities or industrial complexes are. The IDF is not striking it's not striking civilian targets. They're striking military targets, as they always do. And with that, we do seem to be caught up until there was 5 blasts in eastern Tehran, there's more industrial complexes there. And I showed you guys the pictures there of that. Some fires rocking out. Beirut has come under explosions once again. And I was correct that Israeli jets were breaking the sound barrier with sonic booms over Iraq, waking up quite a lot of people. About, 5 a.m. in the morning? Kermanshah was also hit. Tabriz was hit. Seems like Israel is in a full state of alert, on the maximum alert right now as we speak. For now, guys, we only have pictures of things that are coming out. I'm trying to get video clips of the explosions as well. What I can show you is this. Yeah, so this is not a very great video. It's a little choppy here. But as you can see, I just pause. Okay, well. As you guys can see, that's outside the city, and it seems like it was probably anti-air defense site there or some sort of little base. And whenever I try to show something off Telegram, my computer starts getting a heart attack here. So let's keep going. Najaf Abad. Sounds of powerful explosions in Iraqi governorates. So not only Baghdad, but multiple areas in Iraq were also hit. Trying to get to a point where I'm seeing if I missed anything here. I don't know what the strikes in Iraq would have been. Additional explosions. Man. Alistair with the super chat who says, not sure this is 4D chess. This looks bad for Trump, given his statements earlier. I think Bibi just had to make a hard choice, but the right choice. Okay, let's break this down. So a lot of people have been saying that President Trump is doing 4D chess this entire time. But you are right. This looks bad for President Trump in a publicity sort of way. So in a public way, it looks bad for him because he did come out and say a lot of very strong things. So he directly said, and I can find this for you guys. He said, Benjamin Netanyahu will listen to what I have to say. I make the decisions. He listens to me. And I was thinking, wow, that's a very strong statement to make over your probably biggest ally right now. Very, very strong statement. And, well, Benjamin Netanyahu himself has not made any statements, but it looks like he has acted out. And he didn't have to make a hard choice because here's what's happening. He's being told directly by President Trump and the US to not retaliate, to not escalate. But his own people in Israel are thinking this. If I'm an Israeli, I'm thinking, wait, did President Trump just tell us that we have to eat these missiles, but we can't respond? We can't retaliate? Why would we listen to him? Are we controlled by the United States of America? And that's exactly what they were thinking. And apparently, Benjamin Netanyahu has accepted that, according to Al Jazeera. I didn't see it anywhere else, but I'm not sure if that was correctly reported or not. People are now praising Benjamin Netanyahu, is from what I'm saying or seeing. They're saying, bravo. Interesting. I think I think it'll be apparent if Netanyahu made the correct choice very soon. President Trump, I get this, take this with a grain of salt, right, guys? Because he said a lot of things, and at this point, you should be wary of everything he said. President Trump said today that if these missiles had not happened, which they probably have affected the negotiations here, we were close to making a deal with the Islamic Republic on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. Monday's tomorrow. Well, Monday is technically today in the Middle East. We did know that Israeli jets scrambled into the air as soon as the strikes happened, and American tankers were also in the air there. So I found a map for you guys of where all the strikes have happened. I'm going to pull that up right now so we can have a little visual here. So this is all those blue stars you guys see are where the strikes happened. So interestingly enough, if you look, and I saw reports of this, if you look down near the water, what's that? Does anyone know what that is? That right there, right here, if you can see my cursor, the bottom left, furthest south, is Karg Island. Now, I'm going to give you guys my theory onto why Karg Island has been getting hit this week, and this isn't the first time. But right before that, let's read BT's super chat, which, by the way, thanks, BT, who says, is Trump proving something to the far right? Proving something to the far right. Well, I'm not sure if anything, actually, the only thing he proved now is that Israel is not under the control or, direction of the United States. They did act on their own. Publicly, they went against what President Trump wanted. Privately, I don't know if that's the case. They must have been coordinated on some sort of level here. But what you're going to probably see in the next couple of days is that President Trump's going to come out, or you're going to see more statements like, you'd be in jail without me, and what are you doing, and this and that. And if you guys were watching the show a couple of days ago, or a few days ago now, I've been saying that ever since that phone call got leaked between President Trump and Bibi Netanyahu, we were going to see more wedges being driven in between the United States and Israel to make them seem like they are not on the same page. You need to deceive the Islamic Republic much more this time. And the United States' position here is this. Hey, IRGC, look, I tried to hold Israel back. I told them directly not to do it. Do you see how strong I told Netanyahu that he has to listen to me and I call the shots? And they still did it, but they only hit you a little bit. And if you don't make this deal, I'm going to let them hit you a lot. And not only am I going to let them hit you a lot, I'm going to join them and hit you a lot. So make this damn deal. I think that's kind of the thing. That's the thought process that I'm on. But I also know that if you're on the opposite belief that Trump is probably caving in, he really does want to he wants to back out of all of this, then I can definitely see your perspective as well. In fact, I kind of want you guys to bring your reasoning for that because I want to explore that more. What is this? I don't know. Where is Al Kharj? I don't know where that is. Let me see. City in Saudi Arabia. Wait, what? An early warning. What? Okay, so Saudi Arabia. There we go, guys. As I'm getting caught up to the news, we have breaking news. Are you guys ready for this? Reports of sirens in Saudi Arabia following launches in Iran. So it seems like the IRGC have responded to the Israelis responding to the IRGC's responding to the Israelis responding. Okay, well, at this point, Saudi Arabia is being targeted here. They have their sirens going on right now. It seems like these missiles are targeting the United States Air Base, Prince Sultan Air Base, and this air base is quite significant. There are tons and tons of US personnel here, a lot of tankers, jets, and etc. If these missiles land, we could be looking at American casualties. And if you guys have been listening, American casualties is Trump's red line. He actually said this 2 days ago. If the Islamic Republic of Iran causes American casualties, we are going back to war. We are probably going back to war. It seems like that is exactly where we're heading based on the events of the past 6 hours. Just getting started here. I might be doing this live for 24 hours straight. And in fact, I kind of want to be a good experience here. So Boboism has said that Trump and Bibi are nationalists. Bravo. Boboism here is a proud believer of nationalism and that each country should be acting in their own interest, which makes total sense to me. Yeah, thank you, Boboism. And also a super chat here from Fleshy Interloper who says, I am baffled how Trump thinks he can make a deal that will stick. No one in the Islamic Republic can make a deal and keep it. So we've said this a lot, and you're absolutely correct. Who in the Islamic Republic has enough weight, has enough gravitas to make a deal? Well, in my head, there's probably only one person as of right now. That is the cardboard supreme leader, or the gay Ayatollah, Mojtaba Khamenei. He is the only person, and he seems to be missing a leg and perhaps an eye and some other bits and pieces, but it seems like he has been involved in these negotiations, or so it seems that President Trump has been reporting. To me, he is the only person that can be come out and say either we surrender, or here's the uranium, or we will open the Strait, and the regime actually has to follow what he says, because the regime cannot go against the word of the supreme leader. No, no, no. Can't do that. You'll be attacked by everyone else in the regime. So yeah, thanks, Flesh Interloper, for that. The next one is from Clown World, who says, is it go time yet, or just more edge? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So it seems like Israelis are now saying that planes in the sky above them are going crazy. More jets are scrambling off from the air, or from the tarmac of Ben Gurion Airport, it seems. Wonder where they're going and what they're doing. Confirmed reports of an Iranian attack at this hour on the Prince Sultan Air Base in Saudi Arabia. Saudi has issued a warning saying, for your safety, please continue to follow the instructions of the civil defense. Avoid gathering and avoid filming completely. Looks like they're following the United Arab Emirates model of, if I didn't see it, it didn't happen. Interesting. I wonder if Kuwait and Bahrain are going to get hammered again, as they have been all week long. Come on, give me updates. I need to know. But just imagine you've been up in the Middle East all night and then you went okay, here's what happened. If you live in the Middle East, you went to bed. If you went to bed at a reasonable time, you missed everything. Like none of this happened. Okay? You went to bed thinking that it's just another day. And if you wake up, you have woken up to your phone telling you to take cover, to avoid gatherings, explosions everywhere. You probably wake up, your place of if you're in an IRGC, your place of work has probably been bombed at this point. All right, so what we know so far is that the United States has claimed no responsibility in these attacks on Iran, saying that it was all Israel. Israel responded with what I would say is a good enough response to satisfy Israelis here without um, causing immediate escalation for the regime. Because what I think is going to happen here is that the IRGC, the Islamic Republic, is going to launch some more ballistic missiles towards Israel here. And if they don't, because they know that all their missiles got intercepted, they're going to just take their anger out on the Persian Gulf Arab countries. So we're talking about Kuwait, Arab Emirates, Bahrain. They're already talking, they're already striking at Saudi, which is hilarious. I'll tell you why. 2 days ago, the Islamic Republic sent a diplomatic envoy to Riyadh in Saudi Arabia. And now they're getting bombed. So it's just kind of funny to me when you go out in media and you're saying, our brothers, the Saudis, our brothers, the Kuwaitis and the Bahrainis. And then you just bomb them just in time for morning prayer. The IDF is reaffirming that they attacked about 15 targets. And Shin has reported and confirmed that sirens in Kharj, which is the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, where Prince Sultan Air Base is located, has been sounding off. We don't know yet if there are any hits. I imagine that base is pretty well protected, because if you're going to put a lot of tankers and equipment and people there, you're probably going to protect it pretty well. I'm not sure if I expect American casualties here, and that would be disastrous if that happened. And that would pretty much cause for an immediate United States response, who, by the way, this entire time the US is ready to go. They've been ready to go this entire time. Also, if you guys have been tuning in from Armin's channel, Liberty Politics, I go live with Armin every day at 2:30 p.m. And he is currently unavailable to join at this moment. He might join later. But yeah, we basically go live every day at 2:30 p.m. Pacific time, and we cover all the news. And apparently for the last couple of weeks, the explosions have been happening right when we go live. So lucky us. You know what I don't like about this? What I don't like about this at all is that if there are no IRGC casualties here, then this tells me that this is just a play. It's just a show. And that there's a new norm. You guys want to know what the new norm is, in my opinion? The new norm, if this is all a show, is that the IRGC, the Islamic Republic, and Israel can just fire missiles at each other, not hit anyone or anything super important, and they can keep on going. That's a terrible scenario, if you ask me. I don't know about you guys. But moving on to the next super chat, we have I'm Rick James, who says, thank you for the super chat, by the way. He says, do we know that Trump told Israel not to strike? So far, I've only seen that Axios claims that. They don't have the best track record. Yes, so he came out actually in multiple interviews. He was ready to go. It was really strange. he had multiple phone interviews with different news channels and agencies, and also Trey Yingst himself, and he told them all the same thing. He said, Bibi Netanyahu listens to me. I make the decisions, I make the final decisions, and Israel has to go along with whatever I want. It's pretty much what he said. Very, very strong words. But after those strong words, looks like Netanyahu gave the green light anyway. And it seems like it's more clear to me now. So the Israeli response was limited, right? This isn't an all-out attack. They just hit 15 targets, guys. That means that Benjamin Netanyahu decided to do a limited strike to appease Israelis, to say that we did hit them back. And at the same time, the regime understands that Israel just hit 15 targets. They didn't go all out. So the regime is not going to escalate. They might fire at, the Persian Gulf countries like they are right now, but this might be it for today. This might be it. For those of you wondering about those missiles being launched towards Saudi Arabia and hitting the Prince Sultan Air Base, we have seen this multiple times before where the Islamic Republic targets United States air bases in the Middle East. What they actually do is they just hit right around it, or it gets intercepted. Or if they do hit a building, that building had no one in it. There's nothing going on there. We've seen that confirmed to happen twice. Personally, I don't like these games too much. I don't understand this sort of game. Sorry, I didn't mean to show that. But wow. And if you guys are tuning in for the first time, please consider dropping a like or subscribing to either Liberty Politics or my channel, Ali Samani. I'm going to start reading what you guys are saying while I'm waiting for more things to come out. The Saudi civil defense. Oh, here we go. Saudi has said that danger has passed. It seems like the missiles were either intercepted or hit nothing. Trust me, guys, if they actually hit something important, we would know about it instantly. There are all sorts of people that are just waiting for something like that to happen so they can report it with happiness. If there's any Israelis in the chat, if Barak Ravi told me it would be sunny tomorrow, I would build an ark because it would be a flood. For those of you who might not know me, so we have 1,200 people here live from Twitter to YouTube to, actually, yeah, Twitter to YouTube. No one's watching on Twitch. My name is Ali. I was formerly a heart scientist. Well, still am. I guess it doesn't really go away. I'm a heart scientist who worked on the electricity of the heart. And now I go live every day at 2:30 p.m. for a couple of hours. And I cover everything that's happened in the past 24 hours with focus on Iran. So everything Iran related, that's me. And I go live with Armin Navabi, who is Liberty Politics. And we break everything down for you guys. We play devil's advocate. We give you every perspective, and we deliver the news right as it's happening. So if you guys do want to be pretty up to date without any sensationalization, we're not going to tell you, oh my God, this just happened. Wow, this is crazy. We're going to say this happened. This is what it means. This is the direction that we could be heading. It's pretty much what we do. So if you're someone who has anxiety about the situation or curiosity about where things are going, that's our job. That's what we do. Okay, I'm getting... Oh, I'm getting more information. Israeli channels are reporting that a launch was detected from Yemen towards Israel. Guys, the Houthis, I didn't expect the Houthis to do anything here. Wow. Okay. I guess they got paid. Yeah, Amy just said. I also heard the Houthis must have got paid because now they are engaging. Wow, Amy's ahead of me. Not just one missile. There are multiple missiles from Yemen. There are also missile launches from Iran. So there's. Did I already say that? I'm going crazy. Looks like these missiles may be aiming for Tel Aviv. So if you are in Tel Aviv and you have been getting notifications on your phone about incoming missiles, please immediately head to the shelter. Hopefully the Iron Dome can intercept these in time. I'm just going to check here. Okay. This is quite a night here, guys. This is so strange because Saudi news sites are saying that the threat is over. So did the Islamic Republic just launch one or two missiles towards Saudi and then call it? And then not launch towards the other ones like the United Arab Emirates and Kuwait and Bahrain? I mean, they haven't held back before. In fact, they were doing out of their way. The Islamic Republic was going out of its way to not hit Saudi, but now they're only launching at Saudi, and particularly at an American base when the White House just made a statement, literally right when I went live. They made a statement saying, we had nothing to do with this. But the IRGC was like, hey, for good measure, here's a couple of ballistic missiles for you. There we have it, ladies and gentlemen. There are new strikes on Israel from both the Islamic Republic of Iran and Yemen. Ballistic missiles will take roughly about 10 to 11 minutes from the Islamic Republic of Iran to reach Israel. I don't know how long it takes from Yemen. I imagine probably a little bit less. So with 10 to 11 minutes, you do have enough time to get to a bomb shelter. The drones, the Shahed drones that the IRGC likes to launch, those take longer. Those might take hours. Oh, someone said the word. So Dakini said electrophysiology. Yes, that's me. And no, I'm not a doctor. I'm a scientist. So I would build and test medical devices. And those have a lot of experiments that need to go into them. So anyway. Oh, we have our Yemen's missile attack on occupied. Man, here's the thing, guys. Some of you may be wondering, how do I get the news so quickly? Okay, well, I have this thing where I gather and I have keywords and phrases and everything like that, right? And I scour the internet for them, which ends up oftentimes I get information from like the enemy channels, so like Hezbollah, pro Hezbollah channels or like pro IRGC channels, because sometimes they report things that other people won't report, and it'll be like Yemen's missile attack on occupied Palestine, and like that's what it's going to say in the channel, and I'm like, what? And I'm reading that like the first half second, I'm like, what? I'm like, oh, because some of this stuff is in Arabic and it'll translate it for me. I have it translate it. Okay, sirens are sounding off in Israel now, saying that you have 5 minutes and 57 seconds to get to a shelter. Seems like these are targeted into central Israel, where the major cities of Tel Aviv and Jerusalem are. Hope everyone stays safe there. There's something that Sketch said here. I'm trying to pull it up. Where did it go? It's so weird. And then he said, so Sketch said, you're assuming only one person is in charge of those missiles, not two factions. But maybe some IRGC want to stop, some want to go. At this point, they really consolidated the commanders who are in charge of these missile launches. There are gonna be no one all of these missile commanders are super duper loyal. They're super duper hardline Durka, and they're never gonna go against these orders. What ends up happening is that on the political front, you'll have two major factions here that are vying for power more than the other ones. And we've gone over that from time to time, but I'm not going to bore you with the different, Durka names and etc. But yeah, there's two major powers here. One of them does have full control, almost full control of the IRGC, so all the military stuff. The other one is more of a political force, more of a people support. So if you're wondering if some commanders might be launching at the orders of a higher up, and then some commanders might not be launching at an order of another higher up, that would be probably very unlikely in my opinion. We have a super chat from Clown World saying, "Which state are you in? Keep up the good work." So I'm West Coast of the United States, but I'm not going to say specifically what state. I don't think that's a good idea. But thank you for the super chat. Yeah, West Coast, United States. I'm gonna hide this here. And this is an interesting comment. So Delta is saying, "I'm American too, and I don't bash America. I'm just honest about our incompetent, selfish president." So here's the thing, guys. If you're American, I always say this, it's actually quite patriotic to criticize America. And by criticize, I don't mean like, F you effing suck, stuff like that. I mean, why is this happening when this is a better option? Why would you do this and not that? Is this not a better idea because of these reasons? Nara is saying, "I spy about 5 IRGC Telegram channels." Yeah, yeah, I do the same thing. I've gone in there, I've infiltrated the regime supporters' Telegram channels, and I find little tidbits of what they say after some strikes. So if the IRGC is getting struck, I go in there and I see, what are the regime supporters saying? Are they saying like, "Oh man, I'm tired of this," which they are. They're like, I'm tired of this. I just want to go back to war." That's what they're saying, which is funny. Uh, okay. So, yep, ballistic missile launches from the Islamic Republic of Iran and Yemen. Those missiles should be landing right about around now in Israel, or about a minute from now. It does seem like Israel caught the IRGC slightly off guard, even though they were expecting these strikes. They actually did move all their aircraft out of Mehrabad Airport in Tehran to other cities in case they was going to get hit. And it turns out Tehran Airport did get hit. So, wow, I just found something here. It is on Telegram, though, so it's going to be super choppy. Okay, let's go ahead and share this. I haven't seen this, but let's look at it for the first time together. This is Ben Gurion Airport in Israel. Interesting. So you guys can see it is early morning in the Middle East, and I'm not sure how I'd be feeling if I was walking through the airport and I suddenly heard actually, yeah, if I just suddenly heard missile alerts and I'm in the middle of an airport. Does Ben Gurion Airport have bomb shelters? Or are you just wait, what if you're sitting in a plane already? Do you deplane? Do they make you get off the plane and go into the airport, or I don't know. I don't know. Um, yeah, interesting here. Okay, so as these missiles are hitting right around now or being intercepted, we're waiting for news of that to come out. Hopefully, none of them actually land. They won't land. Okay, I hope so. Um, wow. Uh, why? Okay, some people are fighting in the chat. All right, so our very own expert, Jeffrey Capella, who, by the way, if you're new and you don't know, there is a discussion group that Armin and I have. The link is in the description. If you'd like to come and ask us questions, you can do so every day. And we have tons of experts ranging from, Armin to Jeffrey to others. And here's one of our such experts who says approximately 11 to 12 minutes from launch in Yemen to reaching Israeli airspace. Okay, interesting. So it's about the same time that it takes from a missile in Iran to reach Israel as well. Thanks, Jeffrey. Appreciate that. Miss Hypnotic was saying no, Delta. We're talking about the guy telling Ali he's sold out. Me? I'm trying to think of how I could have possibly sold anyone out, but yeah, I'm not really sure. Not really sure on that one. Okay. That's a good point, Felix. Ben Gurion is likely thoroughly defended. That is a good point. I didn't think about that. Okay, so now it looks like the pro-Hezbollah and other sorts of terrorist militias across the Middle East have finally been catching up, and their channels are now reporting that rockets have been launched from Iran towards the occupied entity. Okay, here's what I'm wondering right now is that the Houthis have launched missiles. They've only done this, I think, one other time during this conflict. And here's the thing. I don't know why they're doing this because they're sitting nice and pretty at the moment. Launching missiles right now just puts them into a target site. I don't think they're off limits, to be honest with you guys. I think they can just be bombed right now. Okay, some people are saying, some Israelis from Tel Aviv are saying that they were intercepted. That's great. And more. Firejack is saying confirmed interceptions of missiles from Yemen. Also, nice super chat earlier. That was a good, good discussion that we had earlier about Trump's quote. Shannon's asking if Jeffrey is the guy that does the massive daily news download in life, 5 minutes. I'm not sure about that, but if you have any questions, and I mean any questions about Russia, China, military, NATO, he will have an answer for you. And so we're saying you sold out, bro? I still don't know what I sold out. I'm not really sure. I think when I catch up with the chat, I'll find out. But let's go ahead with this. Worldly 16s with this super sticker chat. Oh, thank you so much. If you drop something in the chat, if you want to say something, I'll try and find it for you. And thank you very much, Worldly. And Victory, who says, Ali, come on, tell us the truth. With those serious headphones, you're actually on the USS Abraham Lincoln directing F-22s on and off ramp. Lol, JK, take care. Thank you. I really have to do something about this. I've only been doing YouTube for a month and 5 days, and these are my gaming headphones that I use, so I need to do what Armin does. I need to get those, the earphones that you just like pop in. I tried connecting my AirPods, but oh, I heard some loud microphone taps of some sort. Oh yeah, sorry. I got this new microphone, and I just connected about 5 minutes before the live. and it's a little it's not correctly adjusted. Just say that. Can you guys hear the clicking of my? Can you guys hear that? I hope not. Okay, so directing F-22s, huh? Has anyone ever done that? Has anyone ever directed fighter jets before here? We have a lot of military vets in this chat, so I'm trying to catch up with you guys here while we wait. Let me check this. Israel has temporarily closed its airspace. Makes sense. And then they came out. Oh, Israel's come out and said that the incident has ended. You may leave the protected areas. All right, that's nice to hear. And the Houthis have come out with a statement. And they have said that Islam is united. You know, nice, short and sweet. Yeah, man. Oh. Okay, so that means that if Israel is giving the green light to leave your bomb shelters, then they must have been intercepted. So Israel's been on it. They've intercepted everything today. And the next super chat here is by Miss Hypnotic, who says, "You talked about infiltrating IRGC channels on Telegram, and then someone said, 'Shame on you. You sold.'" I see. Oh, well, okay. I don't know if this is true, but people are saying that there are air raid sirens in Tel Aviv right now. I don't know if this is old news. If anyone can confirm, that'd be great. But yeah, I sold out. Someone, I think. But yeah, thanks, Miss Hypnotic, for clearing that up. Let me try catch up here. Oh my god, there's so many. All right, the Houthis. Okay, Israelis are saying I'm back. Had sirens, and Daver is saying Mojtaba will sign a peace agreement. Okay, wow, bold words. He's not as radicalized as those around him. Actually, you're wrong about that. He's gay. He's westernized. The video you played the other day where he canceled his school without his father's no. I understand that you may have gotten that from him, but think about it this way. Mojtaba, the son of the late Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, is in many ways more radical, more violent, and less reasonable. However, maybe losing a leg and your wife and children and father, and in fact, everyone in your family, might make you rethink things. But in Trump's words, he's probably a professional, and this, that happens in this line of work. You just got to get used to it. Okay, so we had sirens. We got out already. That's great. No sirens now. Okay, cool. Yeah, guys, just because he's gay doesn't make him Western. It's not at all. There's not much Western about him, other than the fact that he loves to have real estate empires in London and Canada and other countries around the world. This person asks, has Mojtaba even spoken or made a public appearance yet? So, the gay Ayatollah of the Islamic Republic of Iran has not made any public appearance of any sort. In fact, the only appearance of him recorded ever was him canceling his classes. And he said, "My daddy doesn't know. I'm canceling my classes." So no public appearance, no audio, no video, nothing. Only written statements, which anyone could have written that. I don't know. But President Trump has confirmed that Mojtaba Khamenei is involved with the negotiations. It just takes a long time to reach him because he's apparently in a cave. So yeah. An IDF spokesperson has come out and said that the chief of staff and the top IDF commanders are currently commanding the IDF strikes in Iran from the Air Force Command Center. The IDF is in full readiness in attack and defense. Okay, the chief of staff, lieutenant general, senior IDF officials conducted situation assessments and are commanding IDF strikes in Iran from the Air Force bunker. Is that right now? Are they conducting them as we speak, or are they talking about the statements, the strikes that happened an hour ago? Okay. Anyway, guess we'll find that out soon. Why did the IRGC strike? The IRGC struck tonight because they claimed that Israel struck the Dahiyeh, which is a neighborhood in southern Beirut, where a lot of the Hezbollah's family members live. And that was previously told to be off limits. The IRGC was like, if you strike Beirut, or if you keep on striking Lebanon in general, we will hit you. And it seems like they did that tonight, which prompted an Israeli response. And then again, an IRGC response. So now we'll see. Right now, we will see if Israel will respond again or not. Mountain Gypsy is asking a insinuating question, which is a horrifying insinuation, who's saying, is there a way to flood the Qanats, which are the underground waterways of Iran, which were built, I think, thousands of years ago at this point? That would be terrible because 95% of the country of Iran is anti-Islamic Republic. So we would not want to do that. The Islamic Republic of Iran, the mullahs, if they think they're losing, might do that. That is a worst case scenario. They have already said that if we can't have Iran, no one can. And we will leave a scorched earth for whoever comes afterwards. Great question again. Are we certain the IRGC didn't just make a symbolic strike? It looks like it. It looks like it. Yes, probably. At this point, probably. They launched a couple missiles at Saudi, targeting an American base there, which did not hit. They targeted Israel again, did not hit. Seems like both sides are hitting targets that are not too important or know that the missiles will get intercepted, etc. So, yes, we can hear your mouse clicking. Ooh. Okay, I promise after the stream I'll fix it. All right, here. Okay. All right. Wait, what? What is this? Oh, okay, that's just no one. Okay. Sorry. Sometimes people say the wackiest things, and because I have certain words that I catch a net for, it pops up. Anyway. Good morning, good morning. Good morning to everyone in the Middle East. You guys have missed quite a lot. Quite a lot. If you were woken up by explosions, I guess you did not miss much. Okay, so what do we know? The Houthis have joined by launching missiles at Israel again. The IRGC has struck Israel for the first time in our ceasefire, which is raging across the Middle East. Israel responded in no small manner. They hit 15 targets across central and western Iran. But it seems like both sides weren't really going in to target anyone in particular here. I haven't heard anything about casualties coming out, but who knows? We might hear about those soon. that might be it. Let's take a look to see if I missed anything here. But before that, something I wanted to show you guys a couple of days ago. Sometimes I don't get to show you guys some certain things because we cover a lot of different stuff or discuss different things. But once I can find this, I will show you guys. If you guys tune in for tomorrow's stream, I have a ton of interesting things that I've been wanting to share with you guys over the past couple of days. And I'm going to find you guys. Someone put all the clips of President Trump talking about his statements about this entire situation back to back to back. And I didn't watch it, but I wanted to watch it. And I figured, why not watch it with you guys? If I can find it. Should be there now any second. My Twitter feed or my Twitter reposts are quite lengthy at this point. All right, anyway. Okay, seems like the Israeli ambassador in Washington, America, has said, "We will strike the southern suburb if Hezbollah opens fire." Oh yeah, Hezbollah. They're still a thing and they haven't done anything tonight. Interesting. I don't imagine that Hezbollah is just going to sit by here, guys. I mean, they did just hit the Dakhia, which is what Hezbollah is saying. If you hit it, we will respond. And they hit it. So, yeah. Also, I think oh no, someone took it down. Okay, well, that sucks. See what you guys had to say here. We're just waiting a couple minutes here to see if there's any more breaking news. Breaking news is that flights at Israel's Ben Gurion airport are resuming normal operations. Okay. Well, all right then. That probably wraps it up until I go live again at this point, probably 2 a.m. my time. Whew. There we go. We covered it for you guys. Solo stream. Okay, yeah, that's nothing important. All right. Guys, if you would kindly consider clicking the subscribe button on my channel or dropping a like on my stream, that would be great. And otherwise, thank you for tuning in. We go live every day at 2:30 p.m. Please tune in. We will catch you guys straight up to date. And not only will we do that, but we will tell you exactly the economic conditions of the Islamic Republic and just how long they have left, which is not very long at this point. So we're going to go over that tomorrow. And I appreciate you guys. Have a great night.